Happy Wednesday. It is May 29th, which means we are almost out of time in the month of May. So I am checking out my page so I can grab the link. See if it's live there. It says upcoming. It should be saying I'm live. One more time. All right, now it says I'm live. It took it a good minute this time. Doesn't usually take that long. So let me grab that link, copy it, and off I go to my Facebook page. And it is posted there. Okay, one more thing to do. All right, I'm back. So I think last week I had my setup changed so that you could see a little bit of the uh, shower curtain over there with the barn door. And there was some blue curtains back here because I was waiting for my next shower curtains to come in, and it hasn't come in. I'm kind of sad. There should be this beautiful barn door that has some green leaves around it, and I'm looking over here because I have one at the other end, which you probably can't see very well. Oh, that might be a little bit better. One of those is supposed to go behind me because I don't want to look at the shelves. But for now, you get to look at the shelves. I have a whole bunch of stuff for you tonight. First of all, you might have noticed that I said that this was number 24, though the last one I saw on my channel was 22. I'm not sure what happened to the one from last week. I guess I'll look afterwards and see if I can find it. But tonight I have 5 parts for you tonight. I have show and tell, and I have a lot because we had a virtual craft last weekend, which was so much fun. Tell you about that. I have upcoming events for the summer, so June, July, and August. I have the May host code. I have the May Joiner special. I have been remiss in telling people about the May Joiner special. Probably because I haven't really been live an awful lot this month. Kind of hard to tell you about it when I'm not here. So I blame myself for that. Just been a little bit crazy, and now I'm going to try and rectify that. And then we're going to do a stamped one sheet wonder. So let me put the, what do you call it? Whoa, I just dropped something. It's back. Let me put the camera down. Come on. There we go. We turned it, and now we have it down. So as part of our virtual crop, we had a class. And the class was to create your own mini album. The albums themselves are pretty simple, but we did go through the whole process of how you cut things. They had diagrams to show all the cuts and how we assembled it. So this one I did during the class. My original one was done using Latte Love. But I wanted to show you this one because I think I might have shown you Latte Love before. So this was using the Mediterranean blooms, and this is the front cover, which I absolutely love. I will tell you that I found this one a bit challenging because the design of this paper is one side is always the fruits, and the other side was the blue and the white, and I had a little trouble mixing and matching a little bit. But I did figure it out, and so here we go. This is the inside page 1, and this is page 2. While there's quite the lag on my video, so I can't 100% tell um, exactly where we are. So, and then we've got the next pages 3 and 4. And here you can see I did do a little bit of mixing and matching the blues and whites with the fruit. And here as well. But it was a bit of a challenge, I will tell you that. So we had a lot of fun putting these together, and everybody, well, some people signed up and had a pre-cut class, and those folks had the Latte Love. And one person got the Take Flight, I think it's called, because she had a particular theme she wanted to do. And then a bunch of people participated in a paper share, and they all picked their own papers. And so we had ones done with Wildly Flowering and the Charming Duck, and trying to remember what else I saw. I think somebody might have done the To Market. Anyways, it was fun to see how they all came out differently. So that's the first thing from Show and Tell. Next, I have a bunch of cards. And this here was done as part of one of the color challenges. And so to start with, I created a one-sheet wonder and actually ended up making a bunch of cards using that stamped one-sheet wonder. And the paper that I used as my inspiration was the Flowering Zinnias. So when it came time to put together my my cards, I used Flowering Zinnias, though I did use the side B for that. So here's one and two. Same one-sheet wonder, same paper pack, totally different papers. This one here, I added a piece from the Fully Flowering Ephemera pack, I think it's called. I'm still learning all of my names of things, so you'll have to bear with me as I stutter through a little bit of that. And here's another one. And this one had so much going on that I decided I didn't need to put any additional embellishments on it, so I didn't. And then we have this one. Use some of the embellishments that went with the, oh, what did it go with in the holiday one? I think it went with the Be Mine set. And this one has lots of white space, again, using ephemera pack. This is from the Say Something ephemera pack. And just a couple of little embellishments here. And this is from the Say Something and Fully Flowering ephemera packs. So a little bit of everything on that. I think that was all the cards from the one-sheet wonder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. They all go together because they have all the same colors, all the same paper pack. So much fun. Next we had a, this was for a layout challenge, I believe, a card sketch challenge. I don't remember if it was a card sketch or I think it was. This here was from a challenge that we did where we needed to make a pop-up of some sort. So this one here is the You're the Best, plain and simple on the front. We got a little bit of texture here with the thread, wax thread, and a little bit of stamping on here to give this some more texture. And that's a Design Series paper from the Take to the Adventure or whatever it's called. And then here's my pop-up. And I stamped and used the die cut on this baby here, and then used the little pop-up mechanism to make it fly. And we have a little spot here for our sentiment or our message to our friend or loved one. So that was one of the challenges. This was a sketch challenge that we did. And this here is actually a stamped one sheet wonder. It's the first one I made with stuff from the new catalog, and using the Say Something ephemera pack. Same here, same one sheet wonder, ephemera pack, a little bit of a tilting of your stuff. Not everything has to be straight up and down, though there was one woman in my virtual crop this weekend that struggled with it, but by the end of the weekend she was doing it all on her own, and I was very proud of her. This here I think is the, oh nope, I know I have a couple from the same sketch. This is another sketch challenge using my stamped one sheet wonder and a Say Something, one of the new ribbons, some embellishments throughout. And then this is the same layout challenge or sketch challenge. And this one I really let the paper do the work. This is the Charming Duck, I think it's called. And I cut out some of the ducks here because I haven't figured out all the layers of the stamps yet, so I'll have to get back to that. And I Say Something and some of the embellishments. And this was another layout challenge. And this one was kind of fun because it could go so many different ways. I had another one somewhere. I don't know where it is. All right. And then just a few more. I think that when we did the card, oh, this wasn't a challenge, it was part of a card class. And this was part of a card class that we did during the virtual crop. And so was this. Hello, Miss Carla, I didn't see you come in. And then this was another card from the card class. And this was the original card for that design. So I made that one. This one, so for the card class, I had designed it like this. I like to show people variations of the cards. So this was the design. Well, on this one, I decided because my papers in the background were so subtle that it might benefit from not only a pop of color on the front, but just a little bit of movement. So I kind of made a little fan out of that. So. And honestly, can't even keep track of what I did for what at this point. So many cards, so much fun in the class. Yes, you snuck in. It's one thing, I have the sound on my computer turned off so that I don't hear echoes, and you guys don't hear echoes, but that means I don't hear when somebody comes in, I guess. All right. So that was show and tell. Next up, we have summer events. And I wrote it out nice and big. Hopefully it's readable. This summer, I have 3 events that we're going to do in 3 weeks. June 21st through the 23rd, we're going to have another virtual crop. In July, we will have a card class, and I'll show you the start of that. I haven't quite finished designing it yet, but it's close. And then in August, we'll have another virtual crop. So let me show you what we're going to do with the card class. So I have a template that I've put together for cutting 6x6 papers, and I cut 6 pieces of 6x6 paper, and I've made 5 cards, and then I have all these pieces left over, and I'm going to work with them and see how many cards we get out of this. But here's design number 1, and we'll put a sentiment here of your choice. Card number 2. Card number 3. Card number 4. And card number 5, which can go this way or this way, whichever way you like. So we're going to do the 5 cards, and then you'll also have all the pieces to use to make some additional cards with your set. So that is going to be in July. I have to finish designing it, and then I will come up with a date for it. All right, that's summer events. Host code. I had several people that wanted to order some stuff at the virtual event. And so I have a host code, and it is X76TES as in Sam, 9 and P as in Peter. If you need me to, I can certainly type that in to the description. All right. I feel like I'm going a million miles a minute, just trying to get through all the business stuff so that we can have some fun and do some stamping. Starter kit special. At the beginning of this, I said, hey, you know, I've done a really bad job of sharing this because I haven't really been live very much this month. But here, I'm going to squeak in under the wire, just 2 days left in the month of March. If you are not a demonstrator and you've been thinking about it because you have a very long wish list of things that you would like to get, when you become a consultant or a demonstrator, whichever term you like to use, you get lots of benefits. First of all, you get a starter kit where you pick $125 worth of product for just $99 plus tax. That kit includes free shipping, which is always a good thing, right? And that's our standard. Anytime you want to join, you get that. And then once you join, you get a 20% discount on your purchases, or you get a 20% commission if your friends and family or people that you know have purchased from you. Well, this month, you get an additional special. When you sign up in the month of May 2024, just in case somebody's watching this later, not only do you get everything I just talked about, but you also get a set of ink pads for the 2024 to 2026 in color. You get a set of 6x6 Design a Series paper for 2024 to 2026 in color. And they have lots of fun designs. And you get the markers, and you get a set of cardstock, which is a lovely deal. So you get all 4 of those products, plus your choice of $125 worth of free product, $125 worth of product, free shipping, all for $99 plus tax. And you get to join my team. So there you have it. Whew. Business talk is done. Let me grab a piece of paper. And Carla, you're the only one here that I can see. Do you have some colors you want me to use? Or shall I just pick some? Let me show you the stamp sets I have pulled out, all from the new catalog. We have Flowers of Beauty, which I used quite a bit when it first, not quite a bit, I made a nice one-sheet wonder with it when it came in, and I've used a couple times since then. I have Spotlight on Nature. I'm thinking this butterfly and maybe the crosshatch will come in really nice. We have Charming Duck Pond, and I might use some of this in here, and maybe sneak in a little rabbit or a little ducky just for the fun of it. Sneak them in. And then I have Labeled with Love. I like these little flowers here, and I like the butterfly. So those are the ones that I'm thinking of using. We'll see how it all works out. And the question is, what color shall I use? All right, I'm gonna just start grabbing some stuff. And if you decide to join me in the color theory, that would be fun. I think I want to start with some Highland Heather. I see you a Petunia Pop, so those will go well together. Maybe some pretty pink, pretty in pink, I should say. What greens should I use? Any requests for that? Thinking. I think I want to go with some Shy Shamrock. And it's very different, this doesn't kind of fit in the soft colors we've got going on, but sometimes you need to shake it up. Or I could add that, but I think we'll wait and see which one of those we use. I think we'll start there and see what we end up with. What do you think? Spotlight on nature. She's so pretty. All right. Let's start with, ooh, I want to use a blue. Maybe Azure Afternoon. I never use that. So let's see what we come up with here. I think we shall start with these guys here. So my saga over the weekend was all about, we would like to get another dog. Our dog passed away just about almost a year ago. It will be a year in July. And my husband and I have been ready to adopt a dog for a while, but my daughter wanted us to wait until she moved home. Well, she graduated college a couple weeks ago and is now living at home. So we are ready to move on to the next stage. So we put in applications with a couple of different shelters. I think that was on Thursday night or Friday, I forget which one. And then there was the furious back and forth in emails over the weekend. And now we have an appointment to go see about some puppies on Friday afternoon. And I have to say, I'm so excited. I really, really miss having a dog in the house. And this shelter has 4 siblings. They are Beagle Hound mixes. And they were born in March, so they're just, a couple months old. And assuming that they don't all get adopted between now and Friday, then come the weekend, we might have a puppy. We're all very excited by this idea. All right, so I am just adding clusters of 3 across my paper. 19-year-old cats in rough shape. It's just a matter of time. It's so hard. They're such a big part of the family, and I'm sorry you're going through that. I feel for you. I usually have a piece of paper underneath that I can stamp off on. Had to go and get it. From these are directions from the mini album that we did. So this is one sheet of the directions. I do provide written directions when I do classes, even if it's part of the virtual crop. There will be instructions. And one in the corner here just because. All right, I think we have enough of those. Now, we are going to see about using the Pretty in Pink to fill that. Now, sometimes I want to be really particular about lining everything up. So first of all, I'm just going to see if I can tell quickly. Yep. So as long as I can find that little guy, I can line it up. But I also, for this one, it doesn't really seem to be a huge deal. I think this is it here. So I'm gonna look, but if I don't get it just right, I'm okay with that. Because it just kind of sort of gives you a sense of the flower. At least that's my opinion. Some of them, if you don't line them up, it just looks horrible. But this one I don't think is quite as important as it is on some. Yeah, no worries. You do what you need to do for your kitty cat. Whoop, that one I totally missed. Oh well. That looks about right. Hopefully I'm not making you too dizzy here. Before I came downstairs, my husband had this documentary on, and it was about the assassination of President Kennedy. And it's like, wow, still, all these years later, still talking about if it's a conspiracy or not. I just want to know if it was, why? Why did people feel the need to do that? I can't see that far away. It was just a little bit too far for me to see. But there's a way to get around that. We just turn the paper around. You know, two-step stamping can be a little bit time consuming, but it is just so worth it. You know, some of them are just so pretty. And this is one of them. I'm still a little bit sad about two-tone floor going away, but this makes up for it a little bit. Two-tone floor is one of my favorite stamps, and it's actually the first one that I taught a stamped one-sheet wonder with. And so my customers like it a lot too. I found it. In this one, you just gotta find this little guy here, and that's where you line it up. Something's not right here. Found it. Oh, I thought I was done. There's these ones over here to do. Oh, somebody's ringing. Phone's ringing upstairs. Oh, thank you, Carla. The colors are just taking care of everything. All right. I think it's my daughter. Just, I can tell from the tone of my husband's voice as he's answering the phone. So yeah, we have a grad student in the house. That took a little getting used to for her. She's just finished, no, she's just What's today, Wednesday? I guess she's halfway through week 3 or 4. Um, she's liking it, but boy, she says it's a lot of hard work. And she's learning all this medical stuff, and I am not a medical person. And so she had all this stuff that she had written out for the purposes of studying, and asked me to help her study. I'm like, yeah, if I can say the words. All right, let me see here. I want to see what I've got here. I think we're going to go, there's another smaller flower in here that I want to use. We'll use these two guys. Let me see. There's one. I feel like there should be another small one in my little box of treasures over here. Not exactly as small as I thought, but it'll work. I think I want to do a little experiment and see what it looks like if I use this for the outside, for the outline, I should say. Oh, I just stuck my finger in that. Hold, please. Got most of it off. If I take that with the Highland Heather, I'm just wondering how that's going to look. I think the Highland Heather might be too dark. Let's try a different color. Let's try Fresh Freesia. And if that doesn't work, we'll try a soft blue. And I have to figure out how these things line up. Maybe that's it. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. In terms of lining up, had to figure out what marks go with what. So we're gonna do a few more of these blues and see what colors we want to use. I've got some balmy blue. Let's try some of that. Not that I lined it up well, but what do you think? Do you like the balmy blue? Or should I go with the Fresh Freesia? Maybe I'll do a little bit of both. But for now, we're going to cover these up so that I don't use them incorrectly and stick my stamp in. All right, let's get some of these guys going. And I'm not sure that I'm going to fill them all in, because we will be here all night if I do that. You like the palmy blue? Thank you for the feedback. All right, we're getting there. Getting there. Ooh, I like the idea of sponging some color in. Thanks. That'll actually make it go pretty quick too. That's why you do your crafting with friends. So many ideas. It's one of the things I love about the virtual crops is we all start with the same instructions and we all come up with something totally different, and it's so cool. And people are like, oh, I'm stuck trying to do this, that, or the other thing, and somebody always has an idea to help them out. All right. Let me do something over here in this little corner. I'm going to grab a sponge dauber. On Monday morning, my room was such a mess, my craft room, that I just spent, I don't know, like an hour and a half just going through and trying to make some sense of it. I'm going to use a sponge dauber because I'll have a little bit more control than if I used a, what do you call it, a blending brush. I am ready for the warmer weather that's starting to come in. I'm always loving it. My husband does not love the warm weather, and I do. So, like, I come up from work at lunchtime and go sit out in the sun to eat my lunch, and he's like, what? Why would you do that? And I'm like, why would you hide from it? Though today he was funny. He said, I'm going to need to make some noise down here when you go on lunch break. I said, okay. And then I yelled as I walked back into my office. And then I yelled up the stairs. I said, it's funny that you assume that I'm going to actually take a lunch. Because that doesn't always happen. It did today. Of course, he wasn't home when I took it, but I just kind of thought that was funny that he assumed I would take one. Oh, thank you so much for suggesting the sponging. So much faster and still gives off a pretty vibe. I think I've strayed out of the camera here. Sometimes you get so intent on what you're doing that you forget that there's somebody watching. Almost done with the coloring. You know, one of the things that came up this weekend, somebody was saying, oh, I'm afraid to cut it, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's just paper. Don't worry about it. It's just paper. And then we started talking about how to cut up a one-sheet wonder. I'm like, that's the one time that you don't say it's just paper because it took you an hour to make it. All right, just a couple more flowers. And then we can add some greenery in. There we go. We have flowers in pinks and blues. There we go. I use stippled roses and sponge the color on and then tip the edges to make it look. What do you mean tip the edges? Like with a marker? Very curious what you're talking about. All right. I think we're going to use some of these guys here. And I'm going to start with Lost Lagoon because this is a fairly big leaf and I don't want it to overpower. And I'm not going to use the whole thing, but even so, it's still a pretty big leaf. And I think if I use the Pretty Peacock, it could overpower everything else on the page. Oops, that's a little bit more leaf than I wanted. Let me try that again. Sometimes it's easier to clean the whole thing than it is to sponge edges around the die cut. Ah, I see what you mean. Sometimes I find it's easier to just clean off the stamp and try again than to try and clean off the whole, a little section. If that makes any sense. We'll come out over this way. I went to a friend's Memorial Day barbecue on Sunday, and her kids are, like her oldest son was my son's first friend that he made in first grade here in our town. And he has a brother who's, I think he's like maybe 2 years younger. Anyways, I was catching up with her sons, and one of the kids that my son and her son hung out with and mentioned that my daughter had graduated college, and the words that came out of their mouths about how old it made them feel were hilarious. And then the apologies for swearing to me because they still see me as like that childhood friend's mom. It was absolutely hilarious. It's like, oh, sorry. Like, he went back to being 12. But yeah, my kids are 9 years apart, so my son's friends thinking about my daughter graduating, I can imagine, makes them feel old. I didn't think about it until then, but I can see where they were coming from. All right, so we have some leaves. Oh, leaves, not leaves. We have leaves. I'm going to put a few over here. All right. guess a little bit over here. I don't like to leave my corners too blank. All right, these really help to fill out some of the space there. And now I can go in with some smaller leaves and use a brighter color. Now that I've got these colors on here, the question is, which brighter color do I use for the smaller leaf? And what leaves? Oh, you know, I think I'm going to see what happens if I add in a little bit of this. What do you think? 50th class reunion. Are you going? My last class reunion I went to, I think was our 30th. And there was like 12 kids from our class that showed up. It was like, wow. And a lot of people that I went to school with still live like very close to where I grew up. So I was surprised to not see that many people. Probably not. I think I'm gonna go with the Shy Shamrock. I love Pretty in Pink, but I think this will be just fine. Just to give it just a little peekaboo stuff going on here. I know it's grass, reed stuff, but I am the artist. I get to use whatever I want. Right? And then after we get some of this green stuff in there, I think I'm going to go for some butterfly action. Gotta have some butterfly action. You like that, huh? Something different. Not what was intended, its intended use. And that is A-okay. No one ever said that I am known for, well, actually, I am kind of a rule follower in many ways, but not when it comes to stuff like this. I just do my own thing, whatever makes me happy. I am a rule follower, but I also challenge the rules. So I'll follow it, but if I don't think it's right, I'm going to tell you I don't think it's right. And see if we can make changes as necessary. But once the rules are set, I tend to follow them. I'm boring like that. I like this. It's a little bit wispy. And we need some over here. All right. Oh. I think I need a little bit over here in this corner too. Just for a little bit of balance. Okay. So now, I think, ooh, I'm trying to close it like this instead of over here. And now I have green, I have a green thumb. It's the only green thumb you'll ever see me have because I kill almost every plant. Oh, the irony. All right, we talked about, or I talked about maybe using these guys and also using butterflies. I really wish the butterfly was a little itty bitty thing like this. because I think that's the size I want, but I don't want the frog because I just already put those greens in. Maybe I'll hide a frog or two. So then the question is, what color shall I use for the butterfly? That is the next question. What color, what color, what color, what color? I don't think I like that. I think I'm going to try some Night of Navy. It might end up being a little too bold, in which case I won't do a lot of them. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is bold, but you know what? I think I'm going to go with it. It's almost black looking. But something different. I don't normally do that, so I'm just going with it. I'm just going with it, ladies. We'll see how we like it when it's done. Oh, I think I'm going to go this way. I kind of like it. What do you think? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Is it your thing? It's different, I like. And then I think I need some dottage or something. And then be done. What do you think? I think I'm going to take this balmy blue and this guy here and play with that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I usually put something underneath so it doesn't stick so hard, but I guess I forgot. So this is going to take place of my dottage. Let's see what it looks like first. All right. Oh, I missed a corner. Can't be missing corners. There you have it. I'm just gonna put this up a little bit so you can see maybe the whole thing. There's a bit of a delay in my display. Like, I'm still waiting for this thing to catch up. All right, and hopefully you can see the whole thing now. I did just move it down. There we go. I'm going to flip the camera so I can say a good night. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Carla on the live. I appreciate your input. Oh, thank you so much. And for anybody that is watching it on the replay, please go ahead and just type in replay or something like that, because when you do that, that means that it will get more traction. And if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.